Let's get started.
What do I ask?
Right now, among infinite possibilities, countless versions of you are asking me endless questions. Not strange at all. Faced with fate and the universe, people have endless questions. It's asking and answering that make us who we are. Don't hold back. Go ahead and ask your most pressing question right now.
Why were so many people calling me Akivili along the way?
How lucky. Although the question you asked is difficult to answer. They call you Akivili because not only are you the successor, but at the core level, you are becoming the focus of the path of the Trailblaze. This isn't imitation. It's the path itself responding, naturally to the absence of its god. You are not them yet, but you are headed in that direction. Even more important is the thing inside you.
A Stellaron.
Do you want to know more? That would be a different question. 7 questions left.
Someone said there are 4 paths that will bring the apocalypse to the universe. Destruction, harmony, and nihility. What is the last remaining path?
Your questions would leave even Noose completely stumped. But I will answer them, even though I can only offer my humble opinion. Up to you if you believe me or not. Now, roll the die. Hey! That's a critical success! Perhaps I have a surprise for you. It's an answer I realized over the course of a long journey. The 4th path that brings the apocalypse is the Trailblaze. You should be glad that their plan has failed. Nobody knows what happens to a universe that has its paths broken. An unknowable, incalculable universe of madness. A universe where every direction is forward and there is no end. Time flows, yet nothing ever happens. Space stretches on, yet there is nowhere to go. Even existence itself defies all logic. Thinking about it, doesn't even the answer destruction sound kind? At least it has a clear end.
Tell me, why do you want...
Lucky you. I awaken the veracity to devour, of course. Even if it's just a fragment sealed in a Hotopia, a husk, the hunger concealed in it will be enough to dim the stars. I don't care who wins this chess game. What I care about is the moment the winner excitedly reaches out a hand to take their trophy. And a star comes alive, opens its abyssal maw, and swallows the chess pieces, players, and the chessboard itself. all to remain in nihility for all eternity. What a sight! Even the rules themselves would be eaten. No matter who Aha pours their power into at the end of the games, no matter their disguise, it is all for nothing against the awakened veracity. They cannot escape this devouring, because it is not a duel, but the restoration of balance. It is the consequences and retribution they deserve for the sin of theft they committed at the dawn of time. Though Ouroboros does not understand the notion of revenge, when that ancient hunger, dormant for ages, is sated once more, and the stolen power surges back through them, even that blind and witless primordial will shall, in that instant, taste the flavor of elation.
As the Lord Ravager aiming to destroy Elation, what are you planning to do to Aha?
Ha! What else would the Lord Ravager aiming to destroy Elation do? Destroy them, of course!
I meant, what exactly is your hatred for them about?
Well, I may have developed some excessive feelings towards Aha. After all, before boarding the Express, the fool's name I used at the tavern was En route. You're pretty lucky. You think I'm going to kill Aha? I've already tried. Everything I do is to save them. Once, Elation was a dutiful and committed god. They scattered the seeds of chance, carving sharp turns of fate across the universe. They even made a reward of their own face, bestowing it upon those who passed their trials, and delighted in goading other gods to join the hunt for the most terrifying, supreme beings. Unfortunately, nothing resists the incineration of time. No matter how long the comedy lasts, all will eventually return to silence. But before the deathly silence, the elation will become something even more terrifying. I saw how truly fatigued they are. The elation is being swallowed by their own endless mirth. They will slide towards an even more terrifying extreme. Not to stop elation, but to drag all things into an eternal, meaningless, and unreasonable farce of chaos. And that will cease to be comedy, and become a universe-wide contamination. Upon stepping onto a path and becoming an Eon, one is expected to glimpse their own end. Yet the results of paths colliding remain beyond their sight. How do they really feel about exercising the divine authority of elation? Do they suffer with it? Would they fear this ending? I don't know. For humans, the prize of these games lasts for only a fleeting minute. But for an Eon, it's a free and blissful reprieve from the shackles of their path. If the disciples of a god cannot bring them deliverance before they fall, do they still deserve to be called disciples? I boarded the Astral Express and traveled to different worlds, searching for their tracks and games. Before before they fully succumb to corruption and drag all existence into that unspeakable madness, I will grant them the grandest final curtain. This is the highest form of reverence I can offer them.
I want to know how Yao Guang and...
I can tell you care a lot, as you should. Hey! That's a critical success! This roll buys you 2 answers in one go. The Xianzhou general used her gaze to anchor the fate and future of this world, paving the way for her comrades. What a stirring, bittersweet tale. Isn't that exactly what the Xianzhou people admire? But during her observation, the only thing she could not take into account was herself. So I offered a small gesture in return. I brought the probability of her existence at this moment down to virtually 0. Is she dead or alive? I do not know. And it makes no difference. She will be lost forever. Lost in a maze of possibilities. She might find her way home. Maybe tomorrow. Or maybe tens of thousands of years from now. As for Evanesia, she is the avatar of the abundant Elwood. You don't need to worry about her safety. What you should worry about is whether she will be the Evanesia you know when she wakes up again. 7 questions left.
I've always been curious. Since the Stellaron hunters also see possibilities, do you know what they're true?
A critical success? Your luck is off the charts! Elio's troop. What they're chasing is something even the Eons might hesitate to touch. They are not fighting against a specific apocalypse, but trying to destroy the finality itself. To be more exact, they seek to destroy a finale in which every possibility has been frozen. What Elio has glimpsed may be an end that goes beyond the destruction itself. A point where all things settle into complete stillness and nihility. The Stellaron hunters traverse the worlds in search of a path that will let the entire universe keep evolving. Their purpose is far more tragic and far more mad than it appears.
About the Stellaron inside of me. How much do you know?
Interesting. Allow me to attempt to answer this difficult question. I examined the Stellaron inside your body. It's not a seed of ruin in the usual sense. It was a seed bestowed on you by Xipe, yet branded with the imprint of the Trailblaze. Xipe constantly tries to assimilate all things into one, while Akivili constantly creates new variations. These two forces repel each other, but in your body they have achieved a dangerous equilibrium. And your body, it seems to have been created for just this purpose, an conceals a secret inside it. The Stellaron hunters likely understand this better than I do.
Since you're open to answering anything, let's talk about the Lord Ravager's weaknesses.
The Lord Ravager's weaknesses? How greedy, child. You just asked 7 questions at once. But then again, who could pass up the chance to gossip about colleagues? And plus, your role was a critical success. Go ahead then. Whose weakness do you want to know? No, scratch that. Who says you can't buy 1 and get 7 free? I'll wrap the whole thing up for you. Phantilia loathes stubborn minds, hosts she can't seize. She abhors the taste of human courage. Her greatest weakness is her insatiable greed, always wanting everything at once. Zephyro, he's the perfect warrior. But I guess what he fears and hates most is those soulless lunatics. Puppets that have their souls snatched by the Black Sun. To put it bluntly, he's afraid of the dark. Luxbane is a beast. Doesn't understand human language at all. Beasts aren't flawless, of course. A dog's weakness is bones. And if you show it the sun, it will definitely chase after it. Selenova. She loathes anything beautifully melodic. Without a haze of noise and distortion around her, she grows restless. Archforger. A fellow I'm quite fond of. Quiet, rational, and elegant. Hardly what you'd expect of a Lord Ravager. I hear he's most afraid of appearing before others. Probably a social recluse. Iron Tomb. Well, you guys already off that one. Now me? My weakness also happens to be my strength. Chance. I've never been able to resist planting several seeds on a whim and watching them take root in unexpected ways, and finally bear fruit I never expected. So, satisfied?
How did you fall from being the astral...
You call it falling, but I see it as sublimation. You've journeyed through plain Arcadia. How do you like this world of elation? Numb and unfeeling. That's the honest reflection of most humans in plain Arcadia. They spend their time in idle satiety, then peck each other bloody in online arguments over insignificant issues. People never leave their homes, but online they are angry, crying, and cheerful. Their eyes are glued to tragedies unfolding across the cosmos, treating other struggles for life as seasoning for their meals, then turning around to tip the clowns who make them laugh. On the other side of the cosmos, the IPC is bombing the Isthmian Confederation. People huddle in the ruins without a single drop of clean drinking water, trembling as they wait to see whether tomorrow or death comes for them first. In this universe, The contrast between luck and misfortune is too dazzling. Of course not. One does not simply just become a Lord Ravager in an instant. Like Akivili, I once believed that exploring and connecting could create understanding. And understanding could remove division. That the newly discovered worlds could shelter those whose own homes were ravaged by war and hunger. But all your trailblaze does is spread naivete and hope across a land destined to be destroyed. Across the cosmic ocean, all civilizations meet a strikingly similar end. Having climbed to brilliance, they collapse under their own stupidity, avarice, or sheer chance. The path of Akivili only postpones the inevitable, but it cannot change its nature. I walked too far and saw too much. Afterwards, I could not laugh again. Finally, the Blemished One showed me another path. Destruction. On their path, the gluttonous and the hungry, the brave and the weak, all inequalities come to an equal end. Only when people realize that destruction is imminent do they resist meaningfully and make their existence worth something. The rising sun shines on ice sculptures, melts them as if they were never there, even though humans carved them so beautifully, yes? From that moment onward, IC died, and Asat Pramad was born.
You said you used to be the Navigator. So, is the Eon of Trailblaze still alive?
Hey! That's a critical success! Looks like I have to tell you the secret myself. And Akivili must reveal. Akivili is dead, but perhaps they are still alive in a way even they never expected. The fall of an eon is simply a change to the form in which they currently exist. No one knows if this is something they planned. According to Nameless who have met Akivili, they frequently mention the origin and end, the tree of existence, and what lies beyond the paths. After all, bound within finite space and time, there is only one place the Eon of the Trailblaze longs to reach, beyond the universe. And so, I witnessed the fall of an eon. That power that unveiled the stars and traversed space. In the end, it left nothing but an inconsequential point of light at the edge of existence.
What exactly did you do during these phantasmoon games?
This is a very complicated question. And well, all villains are always waiting for the opportunity to explain their scheme. But if I had to start from the beginning, I'm afraid you wouldn't have the patience to listen to the end. Why don't you ask about something you're interested in? Come on. Roll the die. We'll see how many secrets your roll will earn you. Good throw. Ask away. You mean when the moon suddenly promised that the winner would become a permanent eon? You think too highly of me. Countless people in the cosmos go around claiming to be Aha themselves. But as we all know, only the eon themselves could have made that moon speak. Their divine prophecies prove that the elation is watching these games at all times, and that my activities have not crossed any boundaries. When it comes to infiltrating Ahatopia, the two trickiest obstacles are the world in canvas that keeps the husk sealed away, and the unkillable Panarch Elwood. But Aha has never specified that a judge cannot become a supplicant. Strangely, nobody has ever used this loophole in all these years. It's surprisingly easy. All it takes is one mask, which is placed onto the Elwood in the courtyard before she wakes up. Why would I? My relationship with Full Wish has always been above board. There's no need to compel a prospect as driven for revenge as she was. And it's impossible to include anyone like her in any complex scheme. All one could do at this point was set her free and allow her to shine. Of course, she needed a small gift for motivational purposes, which I provided. A sliver of Shu-Hu's flesh. That's it? I was hoping you'd dig a little deeper. Going over my past schemes is actually quite a treat.
I'm sure it's...
Understand, but you would rather... Don't worry. Hey! That's a critical success! My, oh my. So I, in my capacity as Senior and Devil both, must now tell you, protagonist, how to defeat me. How thrilling! I won't hide it anymore then. The way to defeat me is right in front of you. Inside you, in fact. Hidden away. Bingo! You now have the means to kill me. But unfortunately, your limited, laughable human form cannot defeat me. You're trapped within a lie called the Trailblaze, dreaming you are a courageous human. But if you do what you did against Full Wish, open it to this world, to those cowards trembling in the ruins, to the audience waiting for a hero to save them, the surge of wish power will fully awaken it. Oh, what does it matter? You would have defeated the devil, and your wish would be fulfilled, no? And when that time comes, you may no longer care about the cost.
I once met my other self in Amphoris. Who was that?
Oh, This is a most interesting discovery. Might you also possess the gift of grasping possibility? Unfortunately, even I do not know the answer to that question. It's beyond what I can see and understand at present. To make amends, this question won't count against you.
Mr. Asat Pramad, have you ever been in love?
What did you just say?
Sorry, but I'm really curious. Have you ever fallen in love?
You have this rare opportunity to speak to a former navigator, and you're interested in his personal life? You really are something else. So intriguing. I almost want to throw in the towel and bow out.
So, I should roll?
Wait, not yet. Don't roll. If you roll a critical success, I honestly have no idea how I'm supposed to weave a sharp jab at cosmic destiny into something about personal emotions. So be it. This one's on me. I'll answer you plainly. I've loved. Of course, I've loved before. But in the end, every planet tied to my past lovers, I destroyed them all. Not because we broke up. I genuinely cared for them. I just like what I do now even more. Feels good to get that off my shoulders. They have no complaints either. Whew. All right. This won't happen again. Maybe you still have a lot of questions like this. Maybe you'll just ask them directly. But let me make it clear. I don't want to see such questions again.
Can you tell me the real truth about the Phantasmoon games?
I bet you figured it out long ago, didn't you? Oh, critical success. Then perhaps I should clear things up a bit more. Across countless generations, the supplicant's wish power has gathered here, coursing through the abundant Elwood into the veins of the path. It soothes the ever-starving husk and keeps it from rising again. People believe the supplicant's miracle was created to please Aha, but this is wrong. People believe the markings around the mask measure how much wish power each supplicant has gathered. But they're wrong. Those markings are telling everyone this. If you want to lull the veracity into sleep, you must fill them. Only when the hunger and thirst of the slumbering beast are satiated with wish power can the beings of Ahatopia struggle on into the next Amber Era. And then Aha will appear to reward this savior by sharing 1 minute of their life. Everyone is envious of the infinite power of the eons and their eternal life. But who can comprehend their suffering on those paths? Bound by their own authority, becoming unfeeling instruments of the law. Even a god as close to humanity as elation For humans, the prize of these games lasts for only a fleeting minute. But for an eon, it's a free and blissful reprieve from the shackles of their path. Do you understand now? The Phantasmoon games are a holiday for a god. Only during such a respite can elation, vulnerable and unguarded, be killed.
Tell me, is Himiko still alive? Do you really have no feelings for your daughter?
Your luck really is awful. Of all the questions, you had to fail on the one I most wanted to answer. Pay no mind to the roll. I'll be honest with you.